Hello there. Now, if you have a GoPro, and I'm a bit of a fan of GoPros, although I'm edging towards Insta360 at the moment. But anyway, if you have a GoPro, it may be a bit glitchy. It may be a little bit temperamental, may overheat, may shut down on you randomly. And I've discovered a way of fixing that. So, it might not fix everybody's GoPro, but it fixed mine, and this is how I did it. Right, there's my GoPro. It's in my media mod housing, and there's an SD card. Now, whenever you do a firmware update on the GoPro, what I recommend that you do is you do a factory reset. They don't tell you this, and the reason that I started doing this is because of my Blu-ray player that I've got. When it said to do an update, it said to do a factory reset. And what a factory reset does is, after you've done the firmware update, it clears out all your settings that you have. So you might have some presets that are set in there with the old firmware. So when you put the new firmware on, you might get a conflict between the preset settings and the camera running on the new firmware. Now, the first time I did that, some of the glitches just disappeared. And I watched a guy on YouTube that goes by the name of Demon View. He's a funny little Canadian, and he does quite a few little tips and tricks on GoPro. And what he suggested is you take your SD card, and you might have to put it in the adapter there, and stick it into your computer. Now, I don't have a computer here, but I do have one at work, and I did this at work. You take your SD card out of your GoPro, stick it into your reader on your computer. You might have to use the adapter. You might just have a micro SD card slot on your laptop or your computer. But if not, stick in the bigger one, and you do it that way. Anyway, I'm digressing slightly again. Anyway, so what you then have to do is you go in and do a full format. Not the short, quick format. You do the full format, which will take about 45 minutes, half an hour, 45 minutes, to completely reformat that card. Stick it back in your GoPro and reformat it again there. That way, what you've done is that there may be some data left on your SD card that the GoPro can read, and that will end up messing up your GoPro. Might cause it to glitch or overheat. Now, since I've done that full reset, since I've done that full format on my SD card that's on this one and the one I'm filming with, I've had no more overheating issues. I've had no more random stopping, and I've had none of this the glitching that you get. I've had no overheating either. So that's kind of worked out in my favour, although I am shooting now on a tripod with this GoPro, so it's there's no stabilization, but I'm using 10-bit, and I'm using 4K, but I'm only using 4K 24, so it's 24 frames a second, and that for me, that gives me at least 45 minutes to an hour runtime on that standard Enduro battery. In fact, I'll probably get more than that. I'll probably get an hour and 10 minutes when I go cycling. So yeah, I'll get an hour and 10 minutes on the on that actual battery with that SD card. So yeah, so that's it then. That's how you cure your GoPro. Is after you've done a firmware update, reset it back to factory settings. What you'll have to do is, once you've reset it, is you'll have to make up your own presets. Now, I've got a preset on here, which is, like I said, it's set to 4K. I set to 16 by 9. So that's rectangular shape, and I'm running at 24 frames a second. And one of the other little tips that I got is to run the camera at negative 0.5 in the exposure compensation. Yeah, negative 0.5. So that's it then. So that's 3 little tips I've given you. One is to run your camera at negative 0.5 EV. Reformat your SD card in a computer or laptop and do a factory reset, and you should find, hopefully, if you've got any more issues than that, then you've probably got issues with your camera. But yeah, that's what I do. Anyway, so that's it. I'll catch you all on the next one.